What's going on, fellow A-plussers? It is I, your host, as always, Adam Perez. I'm back once again with a brand new video review as we're set to go ahead and dive into the newest installment to the Indiana Jones franchise, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This is, in fact, going to be my non-spoiler review because, honestly, at the end of the day, I want you guys to check out this movie for yourselves. Go out to the movie theaters, enjoy yourself, and check out the fifth installment to the Indiana Jones franchise. But we're here today to go ahead and give our thoughts. I had the opportunity to sit down and watch this movie on Thursday evening, got a little bit of an early screening. The movie itself is released in theaters as of today. So if you don't have any weekend plans, definitely go ahead and check out the film. Because remember, at the end of the day, these are simply just my A plus opinions, but I always want to know yours. So definitely go ahead and check out this film. And regardless of what I say, you certainly be the judge as to whether or not this is certainly a good film. This is definitely a film I certainly would recommend. I definitely had a really good time checking out this movie, quite honestly. As far as directing goes, I thought James Mangold did a really good job. There certainly are moments in here that feel very Steven Spielberg-ish to me, but James Mangold definitely brings his own flair and his own flavor to it. I love the ideas that they seemingly went to different locales. The scope of this movie seems pretty big. Like, I'm just glad that Lucasfilm didn't always settle on just doing like set pieces or inside of a studio sort of thing, that they really went out into the locales and stuff and film, because it definitely does add so much more depth to this movie. So really love the work in which James Mangold certainly did. And if we want to talk about just performances, Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Jones really sort of steal this particular movie for me. I thought individually they were incredible on screen. You can really tell that they put their all into it. Harrison Ford definitely does deliver as Indiana Jones, and just makes for some really emotional kind of moments in here and pulling at the heartstrings as you really get to see sort of like the age kind of catching up to Indiana here a little bit. And I thought it worked extremely well. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, while I'm familiar with her, I haven't really watched a lot of her stuff. Like, she's most notably known for Fleabag. I don't really watch that particular series, but honestly, after watching this, I kind of want to see more of what she's in. I thought her and Harrison had really great chemistry on screen together, and that really sort of just added to the adventure. I mean, they clearly don't always get along, right? There are clearly some things that she holds against Indy based off of what her life definitely brought for her, if you will. But I thought that they, for the most part, they were really they were really great on screen together, and I really like to kind of see them in this particular adventure. So, for those of you who don't know, brief synopsis for the movie: it says daredevil archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary dial that can change the course of history. Accompanied by his goddaughter, he soon finds himself squaring off against Jurgen Voller, a former Nazi who works for NASA. And listen, when it comes to Indiana Jones, you know, at some point in time there are going to be some Nazis in this movie. But overall, man, I got to tell you, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a fun, enjoyable ride. Definitely not a perfect movie, and definitely not the best Indiana Jones film, but certainly a great popcorn flick, one that I was really enjoyed and just kind of really into the entire time. I thought the intro and the opening sequences of this movie really just kind of get you thrusted into this particular film. It does feel it's at times a little bit, maybe a little bit too long. I do feel like they probably could have shaved like 15-20 minutes off of this, if you will. If I did have any other issues with it, maybe some of the de-aging, because the scenes and sequences went on a little bit too long, you can kind of really start seeing the cracks in it, if you will. There's some really great de-aging moments in here, but the longer it goes, you can definitely tell. And then outside of that, the ending, the third act for me, while was pretty intense and fun, it felt a little bit off the rails a little bit, nowhere near like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But once you start adding the levels of like supernatural, or even when you start talking about something that can kind of change the course of time, it definitely leads you to some pretty interesting places, if you will. So outside of some of those hiccups that I had, I really enjoyed this film. I definitely do think this is a good Indiana Jones film that you'll certainly enjoy if you want to go ahead and check it out. And honestly, it is one of those things where I think the ending is quite fitting for this. I think they did a remarkable job of really wrapping up the entire Indiana Jones franchise with some great callbacks, some great cameos, if you will. Not Easter eggs or not fan service, but definitely stays in tune with what the story certainly needs. And when I got out of this theater, I had a smile on my face and was just thrilled that Harrison Ford got the opportunity to go out on his shield and really wrap up this character the way that he certainly wanted to. And you can easily tell that there was a lot of love and care and attention really put into this particular movie. I don't know how many writers this particular movie had. I know James Mangold came on rather last and maybe put his finishing touches on it, but for the most part, an enjoyable, fun, great characters. Matt Mikkelsen as the villain in here, I thought was outstanding as well. Some really great performances. So yeah, overall, guys, if you're looking for a movie to check out this weekend, you ain't gonna be wrong with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I definitely do think you'll certainly enjoy it. There might be some moments in here that might feel a little bit too long or dragged out, or maybe slow at some moments, but I do think the great dialogue, the very thoughtful sort of adventures that they put Indiana Jones on, and just the idea of coming up with clues and trying to decipher them, like all that stuff is so incredibly well thought out. Some really great dialogue in this movie also, and again, I do think you'll certainly get your fair share of laughs and your emotional moments, and I thought this movie really hit a little bit of everything for me, quite honestly. So look, guys, if I had to go ahead and grade this movie, I'd probably give it a solid B. That's probably like a 8.5 out of 10. So definitely go ahead and check out this movie when you get the opportunity. But this is my non-spoiler review. Maybe later on this weekend we'll really dive into this film a little bit more. But let me know your thoughts when you check it out in the comment section box below. But remember, at the end of the day, these are just my A+ opinions. I want to know yours. If you've had the opportunity to check out Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, what did you guys think? Let your thoughts be known in the comment section box below, and we'll talk to you guys later. But until then, do me a big favor, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.